Hello, thank you for your patience. I'm always late for my English live sessions, but thank you for your patience. I sometimes things come up, between the Spanish and the English, and it takes me a little bit longer to get here with you. But thank you so much for being here. I'm very grateful that you are here. Thank you so much to everybody that participated in my monthly class. You know that I do a monthly class for the members, and every month I choose a different theme. And the theme for the month of March was how shame affects relationships. Um, as I was preparing the class, I realized that the theme was really, really important. What I didn't, and during the class, I got even more of how important this is, this issue, because relationship is what it's all about. Yes, because um, you have to interact with people all the time, and especially with the ones that you live and you work with. But it's so, so important. Let's see. Okay. I hope everything is okay. I couldn't read Miriam, so if there is something, tell me again. So anyway, relationships. I mean, working relationship, relationship with parents, with children, with work and everything. Yes. So we are not only talking about romantic relationship, but all relationships will give you opportunities to practice. Yes, and to know that sometimes we react in a certain way or others react in a certain way. We can identify it. Yes, and maybe it helps us not to engage as much. Now, what I didn't know that it was going to be such a inner work for myself about shame, because I read things like how much you can hurt somebody, yeah, when you know their vulnerability. And this is actually what happened to me with my oldest son, the one that woke me up, and that I always said I owe him my life, because probably I wouldn't be here because of my frustration, my anger, and resentments and things like that. So what happened is, first of all, I realized it was a very important thing. Yes. And then as I was preparing, when I read something that I wanted to share during the class, I said, "Oh my goodness, I hope I'm not gonna cry with this one." And before the class, the day of the class, but before, my son Jonathan calls me, and then I tell him about it. He says, "I only call you to tell you I love you." But I said, "Well, since you called, let me share, And I shared with him, and I cried with him, and I asked forgiveness one more time. And then I cried during the class too. So it was really, we always said we teach what we need to learn. Yes, that's for sure. But sometimes it gets you even more. Yeah, it touches you a little bit more or deeper of what you expected. So thank you for everybody that participated in the class. When I did the same thing for the Spanish, and one of the things that got my attention is I usually have questions of different themes every month. Some people want to have questions about, money, work related questions, health, yeah, relationships always. But, and this time I didn't have any other question that didn't relate but to relationships. you know so I even asked, I said, there are no questions about money, there are no questions of, no, 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 all the questions were related to that. So I understand that relationships, definitely, it's a very important theme in everybody's life. Actually, one of the members had asked me to talk about relationships, and that's the theme that I chose to talk about when I found it. But we keep working on it. Yes. Thank you so much for being here. And one of the things that I want to talk to, the theme that I chose for today is about anxiety. And I think that is a very important topic too, especially I think since 2020, no? Maybe there is something in the air that makes us being a little bit more anxious, and is something that we need to start controlling. And you will see that is not that difficult. The thing is, are you going to do it or not? By the way, in the Spanish session, somebody put that I actually didn't tell them what to do, with anxiety, or that I didn't talk enough about, anxiety. And my answer was, this reminds me what Dr. Ihaliakala used to say. I don't know how to complicate it more so that you believe me, because this is so easy to do that the intellect says, but she didn't tell me what to do. Yes, I did. Are you willing to do it, or are you willing to realize that could be that easy? Okay, or simple. I don't know, easy, let's call it simple. Okay, and I'm gonna share that with you now. Is actually that I something that I found from Osho, about anxiety, and that's what we are going to talk about today. So, to start, I am the I. If you are in a safe place and you want to close your eyes, or maybe you want to say it with me. I am the I. I come forth from the void into light. I am the breath that nurtures life. I am that emptiness, that hollowness beyond all consciousness. The I, the it, the all. I draw my bow of rainbows across the waters, the continuum of minds with matters. I am the incoming and outgoing of breath, the invisible, untouchable breath, the undefinable atom of creation. I am the I. And we in the class we were looking at the difference, when shame is underneath, how females react, or how males react, and what are the things, that put us in that box of how females need to behave or act or think, or feel, yeah, and the difference. So it's very important in order to identify and not start getting into those kind of discussions or fightings or things like that, because now we can understand better, we are more alert, we are more aware. Yes, very important. Okay, and it has to do always with paying attention outside, what other people will think, and we are going to see that that applies to anxiety too. The what other people thinks, that's what creates you anxiety. Okay, so we are going to see that. Okay, so what is holding us back from living the life we truly desire? We could say one common and destructive thing is that we cannot control our worrying and anxiety. We overthink, worrying thoughts until they become bigger and scarier than they actually are. Remember, we always do here things bigger than they are. Oh, and by the way, this new. Okay, so it's in Spanish, but we have it in English too in our store. Huh? When it says, when you change, everything changes. I didn't remember it says, when I change. When you change, everything changes. Okay, you like it? Thank you. Okay, we overthink worrying thoughts until they become bigger and scarier than they actually are. I read that already. We overanalyze and disconstruct things to the point that our anxiety overwhelms us. Now, anxiety can be a great thing, of course. It can give you energy, keep you on your toes, and prepare you to tackle future problems. But getting lost in anxiety and worry can result in becoming someone who stands still in life. Yeah, it's kind of like an obstacle. Yeah, it doesn't make you move. You stand still. We all overthink things and experience anxiety nonstop, and it holds us back in ways that aren't fun at all. Yeah, some people get to the point of panic attacks and things like that. And remember that it doesn't matter what kind of emotion we have. um, Everything is just memories too. Yeah, and things that we learn, bad habits, okay, that we have too. Osho used to talk about the art of observing the mind. Ah, did we talk about this before? Don't we know we need to become observers? Becoming the, uh, Becoming the observer simply means taking a step back from your mind and becoming aware of your thinking patterns and how you are responding to things. So maybe it is your reaction to the problem, not the problem. Yes? We also talk about that. Yes? What does becoming an observer of the mind mean? It is a powerful concept and is crucial to understand if one is to find true inner peace. Okay, so the observer of the mind, that's the secret. Not to identify, not to buy, not to engage. Okay, it may sound a little strange, particularly if you believe that you are your mind. So how is it possible to observe it? But first, we need to make a distinction between the mind and you. The mind is part of you, but not all of you. Perhaps it's best summed up by this quote from Eckhart Tolle. What a liberation to realize that the voice in my head is not who I am. Who am I then? The one who sees that. Okay? So again, we are identifying with things or buying things that is not us. So what a liberation to realize that the voice in my head is not who I am. Who am I then? The one who sees that you observe that. Okay? In other words, it's important to realize that thinking is only a small aspect of consciousness. Thought cannot exist without consciousness, but consciousness does not need thought. Okay? Consciousness does not need thought. Remember, when you are coming from the right hemisphere, yeah, you know it all. You have all the solutions to your problem. The thing is that we are always on this other side. Just like your 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 heart goes on beating constantly, your mind goes on thinking constantly. Just like your body goes on breathing constantly, your mind goes on thinking constantly. Just like your blood goes on circulating constantly and your stomach goes on digesting continuously, the mind goes on thinking constantly. There is no problem in it. It is simple. But you are not identified with your blood circulation. You don't think that you are circulating. In fact, you are not even conscious that the blood circulates. It goes on circulating. You have nothing to do with it. The heart goes on beating and you don't think that I'm beating. No? In short, becoming the observer simply means taking a step back from your mind and becoming aware of your thinking patterns and how you are responding to things. Okay? Your reaction. It's not everything is neutral. It's your reaction, your thinking. How do you learn to become an observer of your mind? According to Osho, becoming an observer is a bit like someone sitting by the side of a river watching the water flow. Become an observer of the currents of thoughts that flow through your consciousness, just like someone sitting by the side of a river watching the river flow by. Sit by the side of your mind and watch. Yeah, you might say is, but just be willing to see it. Be willing to observe, but don't identify. Notice you're thinking, but don't buy. Just observe. I'm thinking this, or even emotion. I'm feeling this, or I'm having this, but you're not that. It's a concept that we need to maybe even just use it as tools, as changing the conversations in our minds. Or just as someone sits in the forest and watches a line of birds flying by, just sit and watch. Or the way someone watches the rainy sky and the moving clouds. You just watch the clouds of thoughts moving in the sky of your mind. The flying birds of thoughts, the flowing river of thoughts in the same way, silently standing on the bank, you simply sit and watch. It is the same as if you are sitting on the bank, watching the thoughts flowing by. Don't do anything. Don't interfere. Don't stop them in any way. Don't repress them in any way. If there is a thought coming, don't stop it. If it's not coming, don't try to force it to come. You are simply to be an observer. That's why in Ho'oponopono we say we observe, we realize, we say thank you, but I'm busy. Yeah. Once you learn to treat your mind like a river, you flowing by, Osho says that you will begin to understand that you and your thoughts are truly separate. In that simple observation, you will see and experience that your thoughts and you are separate, because you can see that the one who is watching the thoughts is separate from the thoughts, different from them. And you become aware of this. A strange peace will envelop you because you will not have any more worries. I'm going to repeat that. And you become, so in that simple observation, you will see and experience that your thought and you are separate, because you can see that the one who is watching the thoughts is separate from the thoughts, different from them. And you become aware of this. A strange peace will envelop you because you will not have any more worries. See, it is simple at the same time. Maybe it's not easy. Yes, easy to say. Yes, but the more that we practice, that's the thing. Practice, practice, practice. It's not going to be overnight. You can be in the midst of all kinds of worries, but the worries will not be yours. You can be in the midst of many problems, but the problems will not be yours. You can be surrounded by thoughts, but you will not be the thoughts. And if you become aware that you are not your thoughts, the life of these thoughts will begin to grow weaker. They will begin to become more and more lifeless. The power of your thought lies in the fact that you think they are yours. So again, putting some distance. When you are arguing with someone, you say, my thought is, not thought is yours. All thoughts are different from you, separate from you. You just be a witness of them. Observing the mind is also known as meditation. If you are looking to practice the art of becoming an observer of the mind, then look no further practicing meditation. And that's why I call Ho'oponopono a meditation 24/7, because you are in that state of observing. You are in that state of not engaging, not being part of it, not identifying, and letting go and allowing God to erase. Osho says that meditation is another name for observing. See? Ho'oponopono, observing. Don't engage, don't react, observe. Meditation starts by being separate from the mind, by being a witness. This is the only way of separating yourself from anything. That is also in relationships, yes? And when you come from, I want, but I don't need, yeah? Because otherwise, there will be that codependency that will not make you happy, even if you are in a relationship. Um, the other day in the Spanish class, they asked, okay, okay, I'm okay by myself, but I would like to have a partner, yes? Find that perfect partner. Well, first of all, we'll talk about perfect partner, yes, at another time. But one of the things that I told this person, I said, ask how many of the women that are here in this class are in a relationship and they want out of the relationship, or they would love to give you their relationship. Yeah. So nobody's happy. And the thing is, because we are always thinking, we are always worrying, eh, engaging with that anxiety of ours, the stress and everything. But it's just about relaxing. When you notice you are anxious, it's relaxing. It's the opposite. Otherwise, you bring more anxiety. Okay, Osho says that meditation is another name of observing. Meditation starts by being separate from the mind, by being a witness. This is the only way of separating yourself from anything. If you are looking at the light, naturally one thing is certain. You are not the light. You are the one who's looking at it. If you are watching the flowers, one thing is certain. You are not the flower. You are the watcher. Um, As the mind becomes completely empty, hooponopono, erasing, your whole energy becomes a flame of awakening. Yeah, now you are aligned. You are one with your divinity. You are one with source. Yes. As the mind becomes completely empty and the way is erasing, your whole energy becomes a flame of awakening. This flame is the result of meditation, Ho'oponopono. So you can say meditation, and I'm not selling Ho'oponopono as the only thing, and I'm not saying no, do not meditate, okay? But just to make the comparison so that you understand that you can be in this kind of energy all the time, not only when you sit to meditate. So you can say meditation is another name of watching, witnessing, observing, without any judgment, without any evaluation, just watching. You immediately get out of the mind. So I will read it in a different way. So you can say that Ho'oponopono is another name of watching, witnessing, observing without any judgment, without any evaluation. Just by watching, you immediately get out of the mind. Yeah? So that's what we do. We stop the mind, we stop the thoughts, we stop the anxiety, yeah, the things that takes us to the past or to the future. Understanding the observing mind and the thinking mind. A perfect way to begin understanding the art of observing the mind is to look to Zen philosophies, the ideas of the Zen philosophies of the two minds. In Zen, they commonly refer to the thinking mind and the observing mind. The first thing we need to realize is that the thinking mind is uh, then we don't have full control of the vehicle. Okay, so it's a car that but we don't have full control. For instance, if I told you right now to not think about a pink elephant, you probably still will. Okay, what happened here was that your observing mind was watching your thinking mind. So right now what happened is that your observing mind was watching your thinking mind picture pink elephants, even though you were telling your thinking mind not to. Okay, so realizing these kind of things important. The thinking mind is always producing thoughts, and if we aren't accustomed to using our observing mind, then we get ourselves lost in our thinking mind. I'm going to read that again. The thinking mind is always producing thoughts. Don't we know that? Yes? And if we aren't accustomed to using the observing mind, then we get ourselves lost in our thinking mind and we think that's it. And that's who we are. This is the same for emotions such anxiety and stress. And it is where a lot of sufferings come from. We cannot help but get stuck into the negative emotions rather than taking a step back and observing them. See? So the idea is could be anxiety, could be again any other feeling. Observe them. Don't engage, don't identify. A lot of our psychological stress comes about because we don't recognize the difference between the two minds, the thinking and the observing mind. Why you cannot control negative emotions or thoughts? People often wonder how they can stop themselves from experiencing negative emotions like anxiety, nervousness, anger. But the truth is, you don't. Why? Because you cannot control your thinking mind. That experience of the car, that example of the car is a good one. Yeah, we cannot control the whole car. Yes. Your thinking mind will continue to produce thoughts. And this is something like when you ask me, how long do I have to clean? Well, till your last breath, because you will be thinking thoughts till your last breath. Yeah. Or sometimes, it's always like when I tell you, one problem goes, now comes the next one. You will always have opportunities to clean. That's life. But you don't have to suffer. And you can go with the flow. Yeah. Um, but your emotion will continue to pop up. But the trick is not to identify with those emotions when they occur. So, it's like repetition, because there is only one thing that you can do. The thing is, are you going to do it or not? Like the Spanish lady that says that I didn't tell them what to do with anxiety. Yes, I'm telling you, but are you willing to do it? Because it's simple. Maybe not easy, but it's simple. And because it's simple, the intellect will not understand and will say she never told us. This is also very important. Hija Liakala used to say, I don't know how to complicate it, so yeah, you will believe me. Yeah, because intellects don't understand easy. Okay. Uh, but the trick is not to identify with those emotions. This is why Zen philosophy advises saying, I feel anger rather than I am angry. This is important. Yeah. How you phrase, the way you talk, the things that you put after the I am. I am angry. No, I feel anger. And then, you can observe that you are feeling anger. It's very different. You cannot control your emotion, but you can control your behavior. You cannot control your emotion, but you can control your behavior, your reaction to the problem, your reaction to the anxiety, to all your emotions. Negative emotions occur spontaneously. We all produce them, and unfortunately, that's not going to change. So we are waiting for the day that we are at peace, no mind, no thinking, or nothing. No, we have to learn to live with that. That's the way we operate here. But again, the choices that we make moment by moment. No matter how many positive thoughts you try to think or therapies you engage yourself in, negative thoughts and emotions will pop up. Again, we do hooponopono and people tell me, but I still think, I still have thoughts. I still worry or this. Okay, keep cleaning. When you notice, and when you don't notice too, because memories play all the time. We have to be doing this all the time. It's just part of being human. But you can learn to accept them, avoid identifying with them, and then act despite them. The problem with trying to get rid of anxiety is that the more you try, the stronger the emotion will become. As the old saying goes, what you will resist will persist. Negative emotions are a bit like quicksand. The harder you try to get out, then the farther into the sand that you sink. Yeah, so go into worrying, go into the roller coaster, yes? Instead, a better approach is to accept your negative emotions, avoid attaching to them, and then move on. Then don't tell me I didn't tell you what to do. The better approach is to accept your negative emotions, avoid attaching to them, and move on. This isn't easy to do and it takes practice. That's what people don't want to practice, don't want to do the work. Okay, just give me the magic wand. And how do I use it? That's it. Yeah, spirituality is work. People think people that are not things that we do nothing. Yes. I used to think that too when I wasn't spiritual. Okay, so this isn't easy to do and it takes practice. The key idea to understand is that there are two minds and you are only in control of one of them. So again, we are not going, I'm not going to, you know, get rid of all of this, but we can do it. That's the most important. And there is something that I prepare for you, and I'm going to tell you about it. I think I have it here. Because one of the things that are very healing, and I know you know this, is laughter. Yeah. So there many years ago, I met this laughing yoga instructor, and Cyrus. He was a very interesting guy. And I invited him because at that time when I used to organize events, and do a lot of the things that helped me. So I invited him to do something for my community. And and definitely it's impossible not to laugh with him, and laugh is really very very much healing. That's one of the things you can do, many times I tell you, when the telephone bill comes, you say ha 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 ha. The telephone bill came. So at least you are moving energy, at least you are breathing. Yeah, I learned from him you cannot breathe for the past or the future. If you are breathing, you are present. Yeah, but how many times we stop breathing, especially if it's a difficult situation, or something that we don't know what to do, and how am I going to do this? How am I going to pay the telephone bill? Yes. So, and I'm talking about telephone bills. I think in this class, he tells us, by the way, for Instagrammers that cannot see what I put on the thing, the class offer this week is laughter is the best medicine. And you can find it in mabelkatz.com/. Laughter, sorry. Laughter is the best medicine. Mabelkatz.com/laughter. Okay, you can find it. It's only $15. And you, I promise, there is, it's impossible that you're not gonna end up the class with a smile in your face. One of the things he told us once, that it was really really funny, as many things that he tells you that they are funny, but I never forget the story that he told us about, that he had a problem with his mobile phone, the cell phone, and he called the telephone company. And before he started talking, I mean, telling the person on the other side of the phone, his problem and what he wanted, and he wanted to change the phone, and he wanted to change plans and things like that. He says, "Would you laugh with me for, I don't know, 1 minute, 2 minutes? I don't remember." And the other person was like, "Are you serious? This is a prank call or something?" He says, "Okay." So they started laughing. Yeah. She said, you wouldn't believe all the things that she gave away to me. She gave me so much away. When did you hear of a telephone company that gives things away? you know, and gift and this and programs and discounts and things like that. So you would be surprised. That's one way of communication too. Yes, and ways of getting what you want or more of what you even expect, through laughter. So I highly recommend this class. Again, it's only $15, mabelkatz.com/laughter. And I'm sure you're going to really enjoy it. Okay. So I think it's time for to do the breathing hat together. Let me see what's going on here. Are our Christine Bahab girl. Oh, anxiety. Okay, she says anxiety is resistant, and I know. Huh? I don't understand the question about are your perfect partner. Hello, Mabel. You are my. Okay, I don't know what you meant by the perfect partner, Christine. If you want to post again, and I don't know because I don't know how to go back in the chat to see the ones before. But anyway, it's hard. I don't know why they don't do things easier. Okay, let's breathe and we'll see what happens. So breathing hooponopono tool. So what hooponopono does brings us back to present, aligns us. It's now you're in balance. You are connected to your own divinity, to source, to the creator, the part of you that knows you better than anybody else, and that has all the solutions to all your problems. So Ho'oponopono has there are different ways that you can do it. Yeah, it's letting go and allowing God to interfere, to transmute, to erase whatever you are ready to let go and inspire you with the right solutions and ideas. So we do it in many, many different ways, and breathing high is one of the ways that we do Ho'oponopono. And when we do this, we just breathe and count. And I'm going to show you how we do it. We put the back straight, feet on the floor, 3 fingers together. Yeah. And once I have them together, I open and I interlock it to form the infinity sign. And we put it on our laps or legs or whatever is comfortable. We are going to close our eyes if we are in a safe place, and we are only just to breathe and count. And the way we do it is I inhale through the nose 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then I hold my breath 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then I exhale through the nose also 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then I hold my breath 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. That's one time. We do that 7 times, and when you are ready, if you close your eyes, please open. Let's do it. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you being here, for giving me the opportunity to clean. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's see if I have any other. Well, all my trainings that are coming up are in Spanish. But remember that if you participate in any Ho'oponopono training, you can still do it in absentee. Okay, and you know what that means. Don't forget to share if you like, if you got anything from it, or if you think that somebody else could benefit, just share it. So we together we wake up more people. We need more on our team. Yes, of people not accepting mandates and things like that. Yes. So just share and subscribe and do all that good thing that you know how to do well. Remember that we do have an affiliate program. Yes. So again, for the class, I see you are asking mabelkatz.com /laughter. Laughter is LAUGHTER. That's why I read it wrong before, but LAUGHTER. Okay, mabelkatz.com /laughter. And I'm going to put it here because sometimes people don't know and they say, how come I didn't know? But I always tell you, as you recommend a good movie, yeah, and Disney, I think, doesn't give you any uh, commissions. Here you do. If you recommend the books, if you recommend the memberships, if recommends whatever, yeah, the trainings, you can make money too, and why not? Yeah, I think it's fair. The other thing is when people, keep buying other stuff, this is like passive income because you didn't do anything, but these people keep renewing membership or keep buying a virtual course or whatever, and you make money because it's your client. Yeah, it's your person. Okay, so it will be for the rest of your life. Well, I don't know what will happen when I'm not gonna be on Earth anymore. I cannot promise that. But while I'm living, I know that's true. Okay, guys, I'm gonna say goodbye with a piece of pie. Thank you so much. Let's see if I have anything else to Fala. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Um, the peace of I. Peace be with you, all my peace, the peace that is I, the peace that is I am, the peace forever, now and ever. I don't know why I'm tripping with that one. The peace for always, now and forever and evermore. My peace I live with you, my peace I give to you. Not the world's peace, only my peace, the peace of I need to clean with this. I don't know what is happening. Thank you so much. Thank you. Take good care of yourself and go and laugh, okay? Because it's amazing, an amazing healing tool. Okay, see you guys. Thank you.